Hey guys, it's Slynk here, back with Feedback Fridays, episode number 2. And we're going to listen to some more of your tracks and give you feedback on what I think is bad about it, what I think is good about it, and generally just give you tips on how to improve your production. Alright, let's get started and choose a track here at random. I've got a lot more submissions since last week. Let's do one of these newer ones. I'm just going to shut my eyes and click. Okay. Hey Slynk, I'm from Cuba. I really like your music and I also hope to get some feedback for one of my tracks. Okay, let's check it out. Bit of chip tune at the start here. This is kind of cool. Lots of ambience. By the way, this is the biggest beer in the world. Okay, we're building. Turning up. Man, this is pretty sweet actually. Alright, man, loving the track so far. I just think you need to use a little bit more sidechain on the drums, just to bring them closer to the front of the mix, because they are a little bit hidden. Just make sure that they really snap. And I think just as an overall mix down, I think there's a little bit lacking in the high end. I think you just need to crisp up some of those sounds a little bit. Or maybe my ears are tired because it's kind of late at night right now, but I think it feels like it's not crispy enough. I actually really like this. It looks like you used Harmor and Citrus. That's really cool. Harmor is one of my favorite synths, although I barely know how to use it. I love this chiptune stuff. It sounds really cool. There's like definitely a lot of ambience and all those sounds in that drop just fit nicely together with one another. It's pretty good, man. I kind of finding it hard to comment on this one. Oh yeah, the arpeggiator's coming in, that's pretty nice. It's building more tension, I like that. That was a cool sound in there. Wait. That one. That's really cool. Loving the sound design. Maybe you could try some vibrato on those chords that are popping in every now and then. Make them wiggle a little bit. That'd be kind of cool. But yeah, otherwise, a little bit of sidechain, crispy up some of those sounds. I reckon just boost the highs a little bit on some of those sounds, some of the bass sounds and on the drums a little bit, so you get the snap of the transient in there a bit more. And I think you've got the beginning of a really cool song. I love how the second drop is a little bit different from the first drop. Yeah, I would almost like try and change up that second drop even more, but I like how they still kind of sound similar, but they're a little bit different. You could maybe have like one crazy different sound right at the beginning of the second drop to like catch people off guard, and then just go back into what you had here. which might be a cool idea. But yeah, really good job on that one. Thanks for submitting that track. Nice one. Let's try another one from like say down here-ish. Just gonna shut my eyes and wiggle my mouse around. Let's go with that one. Okay. Hey, thanks for doing this, man. Totally send me an email if you actually review mine. Yeah. Oh, it's a private link. Ooh, okay. Let's check it out. Okay. All right. First impressions are this sounds pretty amateur. Guessing you're like a beginner. That's okay. Everyone has to start somewhere. What you need to do ASAP, homie, is go and pick up some drum sample packs, because those drums are really kind of, I hate to burst your bubble, but they sound a little bit cheesy. They sound like a Casio keyboard. Like, you know when you press the demo song on like a Casio keyboard? Yeah, the drums, they're not going to do. You're going to have to upgrade your sample library a little bit there for those ones. Let's just try to ignore the drums, because let's concentrate on the musical elements here. Okay. Wait, what tempo is this? It's like 174. Okay, I like that little whistle in the background. Filters opening up and down. It's nice. All right. So the melody sounds nice, but I think you could improve that. I reckon you could improve that melody a little bit by, like, the root note is that do, whatever that note is. You sort of like hit the root note at the beginning of the phrase, and then it's the second last note at the end of the phrase. And I feel like you'd create more tension and more interesting results if you sort of danced around the root note a little bit, so that you're not like giving, you know, you're not taking the obvious route with your melody. It's kind of like, it'll be more catchy that way, I think, if you kind of danced around the root note. Maybe play the root note right at the end of the phrase, and sort of dance either side of the root note a little bit. So you could maybe rethink the melody, but, you know, like, it's not bad. I'm not saying it's bad, but, you know, there's definitely room for improvement there. Filter. Alright, so we've got a lot of legato, long stretched out notes kind of in the background here leading up to this drop. And then in the drop, we also have legato notes, and I think it would sound a little bit better if you kind of like chopped it a bit. So, I mean, some of those chords are chopped. No, never mind, they're not. They're not chopped. It's just kind of like ba-na-na. I think it should be kind of more stabby because it's like the big hype drop, you know, like maybe go dung 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 dung, kind of like stab them in there, or like on the offbeats, and create like, you know, a nice contrast between like the drum, which is a dung dung dung, you know, like you could have a different pattern on top of that, like stabbing in with the chords, if you know what I mean. So I guess this was intended to be a drum and bass song, based on the tempo. And like I think you're nailing it with the chords and the melody. But yeah, you need to learn about sidechain compression, and you need to go and get yourself some decent drum samples. What I would recommend actually is go and get yourself the Nicky Romero kick plugin. Let me just Google it really quick. Yeah, this plugin kicks ass, and it's basically designed to just make kick drums, and they're really fat, and it comes with a ton of presets. I'm not getting paid to say any of this or anything like that. I use this all the time, and it's great. So, you know, for $65, it's a little steep, but it's worth it because you can make any kind of kick you want, and you'll get a ton of value out of it, as opposed to buying a sample pack with some kicks. It might have 20 kicks in it. You know, with this, you can make 100 kicks, you know what I mean? And, but you'll have to go and get yourself some drum samples anyway. So you got some big snares and stuff like that. But anyways. And again, this is a very long song, 5 minutes. You've got to think about, what it, sorry, excuse me. You've got to think about, are you getting your point across, or are you just like hammering away at the same point for way too long? Do you know what I mean? So if you feel like you've already gotten your point across by like 3 minutes into the song, and you want to write a longer song, you're going to need some more content. You know, you're going to need to write maybe a key change, or a different melody on top, or different chords, or a halftime drop, or something like that, to change it up, you know, to get a different point across. Be like, yo, I can do halftime, and I can do full speed drum and bass. But yeah, thanks for submitting your song. Appreciate it. And keep up the good work there. Let's try another one. I'm just going to scroll down a little bit. Let's pick one out of this chunk here. Shut my eyes. Okay. I'm always like not sure if I clicked anything or not. Check out my submission for your new feedback series. I'd love some tips on how to generally make the production sound a little more professional, even if it's just some links to some relevant tutorials or something. I don't really know what I'm doing on the whole mixing side of things. Love the tutorials, man. The one on quintuplet swing was what brought me to you. Super cool observation. Okay, thanks a lot, man. Let's check out your song. Oh, sounds funky. Let me turn my speakers up. Okay. So, Tom, I've got a question for you. Do you have some studio monitors, some speakers for you to listen to what you're doing? Because if you're trying to mix down a song and you don't have speakers that are playing the music in a sort of flat, correct way for you to hear the actual music, then you'll never get your mix down right. You've got to go out there, spend, you know, $1,000, $1,500 on a couple of really decent speakers, and your production and your mix downs will go way up. They'll sound way better. I remember when I first started writing tunes, I had a couple of shitty speakers that my dad handed down to me that he made when he was like 18 or something, and they were just like wooden cases that he screwed together with some drivers in them, and they totally sucked. No offense, Dad. But when I went and picked up some actual proper monitors for my studio, my production just went from down here to way up here because I could actually hear what was happening. And I was always getting so frustrated because it would sound good at home, and then I'd go and take it to a friend's place or listen to it in the car, and it just sounded absolutely horrible and everything else. And I couldn't figure out what the problem was. And yeah, the problem was my speakers at home sucked. So, lesson is don't try and do a good mix down on shitty speakers. Go, if you're serious about writing music, go and get yourself some decent speakers. I'm using the Fostex PM2 MK2s. And I'll write that on the, up here or whatever. But there's heaps of speakers out there that you can get. A lot of popular one. The most popular one is the Rocket, whatever, the Rocket 8s or the Rocket, whatever they're called. They're pretty popular. But man, I bought these Fostex when I was like, I don't know, 20 or 19 or something, and I'm still using them. I'm 30 years old now, so 10 years later, it's worth the investment. So yeah, I'm sure that will help you a lot, because right now I can hear the bass line is very quiet, the drums are very loud, so it kind of makes me wonder what sort of system you're mixing this on. You got to get yourself some decent drum sample packs as well. Might I recommend my sample pack? Yeah, I mean, like, you're clearly like just beginning, and that's cool. I think you got to start playing around and experimenting with some of the effects that Ableton has that come with Ableton. Like, you've got reverbs, you've got echoes, flanges, all sorts of stuff. And I'm not really hearing any effects on anything really. It's all very dry. So, maybe try mess around with some reverbs and things like that, just to like create more interest in the song, Let's see what happens over here. Clearly, like, writing notes and constructing like different sections of a musical composition, theory-wise, is not a challenge for you. So you've got that going for you. You've just got to learn a little bit more about what Ableton's actually capable of. You're just scratching the surface of what Ableton can do with this song. Oh yeah. Did you play that guitar yourself? Yeah, man, like this could be an X-Mag song, if it was just like mixed down really well, and like some of the sound design was like modernized a bit. Yeah, I mean, just keep going with the way you're on the same track that you're going. Just what you should do is just practice every day with Ableton, because like you practice with your guitar, you need to practice production. You can't just like sit down and expect to write a whole song after watching a couple tutorials. You have to actually practice and really like embed those different techniques and stuff that you experiment and come up with, embed them in your memory, so that when you're in the middle of writing a song, you can be like, oh, I'll totally just like slap a reverb down here, or oh man, I'll sidechain this to that, or oh, I downloaded that sample pack, or like there's so many things you can do with Ableton. So keep it up, man. Like I think you're gonna do good if you keep at it. So just practice. All right, let's check out the next song. Let's go for one of these down here. Shut my eyes. Oh, I clicked right in the middle. Oh, which one do I choose? Let's go with Chill Pill. Thanks for the tutorials that you make. Here's the link to my track. All right. Thank you for submitting the track. Let's check it out. Yeah, that's some nice piano right there. Super chillin', man. This is cool. Whoa. Whoa, whoa. Hold up, hold up. Rewind. Rewind, rewind. Turn it up. That was such a cool drop, dude. That was so cool. I loved like the real, like, I guess Asian inspired melody on top there with the slidey notes. And then to drag, like, that's perfect, man. Like, I was just saying that, wasn't I? About the, you know, the legato notes that go for really like stretched out notes. And then when it drops, like it's the stabby staccato notes that like make it so much hyper, you know? That's a really hype drop, dude. Drum roll, nice. That's cool. That's cool. I would even put like a really more, like a way more intense drum roll, like instead of like a dum dum dum. I reckon like a real intense drum roll there would be cool. And I can tell you've used sidechain compression really well. Every time the kick or the snare hits, things sort of just slightly dip to like give the illusion that the drums are big, you know. Specifically the kick, you've sidechained the kick a lot, which I like. I'd like to hear like some kind of sweepy ambient kind of texture in the background, like a or a little like, or you know, some crowd clapping or something like that to introduce that breakdown again. But I'm just nitpicking. I think this is great. If you wanted to make those keys sound even more live, because I can tell you've like programmed them with, you know, like MIDI notes, is like maybe you could offset every note in the chord so that kind of goes bling, you know, like you start with the lowest note and they sort of like cascade up to create the whole chord. Do you know what I mean? Instead of just being like dong, it'd be like bling kind of thing, which might sound a little bit more organic, you know, if you're going with the organic kind of piano sound. Alright, let's listen to the rest. And I'd love to hear something different for the second drop. But thanks a lot for submitting your track. It's really cool. I really like it. All right, let's go with one more. I think we've got time for one more, barely. Let's go back to like the first page here, because I feel like some of the first people that submitted feel like they're getting gypped. So let's choose on from out of here. Okay. Let's check it out. No message, just straight to the point. Neuro jazz. Okay. All right. Is this still the intro? I hope so. Oh. Something about these notes in here sound a bit weird. That low one, dong, it sounds like out of key or something, but maybe it's just a jazz note. I don't know. Okay. So all right, so how do I say this? The bass line is this note like that's the bass line. But the sort of piano and stuff on top is a completely different key. So I'm not sure if that's meant to be jazzy, but I feel like it's a bit wrong, unfortunately. But I mean, the pianos and that, it's clearly like a sample from a jazz song. So because you've cut it up and everything like that. And so I'm pretending that I'm you, and I've just cut up a bunch of jazz samples and arranged like a little pattern, and now I'm writing some neuro bass to like go underneath it. But I don't have like the ear to sort of match the note of like the melody on top with the bass line, you know what I mean? Anyways, I'm kind of losing my train of thought here, but the point is some musical theory is gone all wrong there. I think we need to change up the I mean, I really like the fact that you've designed all those neuro basses. That sounds really cool, for sure. But in this context, it's like it doesn't sound right. You know what I mean? I don't know. I mean, I can't be the guy that says that this style is wrong or something, but neuro bass sounds are supposed to be like big and huge, and this cutesy piano with like sort of little drums, it just doesn't sound right. I don't know. It should be like super crunchy and stuff. Yeah, so unfortunately I don't like this song very much. I'm sorry to say that, but I think your strongest point as a producer, from what I can tell in this song, is the fact that you can make badass neuro bass sounds. Okay. So I would build on that. You know, forget the jazz thing, man. Like, just put some kicks and snares on there, and like, you know, it'll probably sound good just with the neuro bass. You don't need the jazz piano or whatever to carry this song. You know, your neuro bass will carry it. So Like honestly, I think if you deleted all the piano samples out of that, it would sound better. I think it would sound better. Cool. But thanks for sending your track in. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news there, but keep practicing, man. I'm sure you can write. I'm sure your next song will be a lot better. Let's read a couple of comments from last episode. Ben says, you should take one song from these Feedback Friday sessions and try to collab with that artist to improve that song. Maybe record the production session. Just an idea though. And that's a pretty cool idea. I think what would work better would be like a send in your project file and I'll make it sound way better kind of episode. And I can sort of like walk you through how I would improve the way the mixdown is set up or something like that. Might be a cool idea for a future series. I'm not really ready to take on a new series just yet because I just started this one. This is only episode 2. But maybe something to think about in the future. We could do like a special Feedback Friday or something like that. Cool idea. And Sprangeful says, these videos are great. Please do more like these. Super helpful. Do you have a Patreon page? Would donate for videos like these. I also loved your quintuplet. That's supposed to say quintuplet. Quintuplet swing video. Changed my drum parts forever. Big happy face. Cool. I don't have a Patreon page. Well, technically I do, but I haven't like fully launched it yet. And I'm not like telling everybody to go there because I just haven't, I don't know, like don't you want to have like some cool rewards set up? I'm not really sure what to put there just yet. So if you have some suggestions on like rewards for the Patreon page, or if you think Patreon page is even a good idea, then let me know. But maybe I'll just set it up so that if you are generous and you want to donate towards making more videos, then you can donate and you have a place to do that. And that would seriously help me out. So I'm just getting started with this YouTube thing, so I'm sure that would help a lot. But yeah, let me know what you think, and thanks for the comment. And I think that's all we have time for this week. Thanks for watching, and sorry if I didn't get to your song, but there's always the week after. So, all right. Oh, and by the way, I got a push. How cool is that? Push 2. So I'm going to learn how to use that and maybe write some tutorials and stuff. But yeah. All right. Peace, guys. Thanks for watching.